Ka no confidence motion ne kijing bom shania shu kabla wanra ka Congress Pyrshah ya ka Sorkar senrop u konrat ki sangma kala sha pendam no haulam Hadien bakala sha rem no ha kijing ye peninia Hadien kijing ye tai kabla ne kumbah nyokunta hapo ki dorbar ulam uba met ba lingdo ula penbena ba ka no confidence kabla wanra da kalyang Pyrshah kala sha pendam no Hadien bakala sha rem ha kijing pen sawasur ne voice vote Shua yakane nakaliang udongilam kaliang Pyrshah u Dr. Mukul Sangma ula kentait ban weng ya no confidence motion da ka ba ula pan shua ya jingkular na ka Sorkar ba kan penbha ya baro jing ko trekam Henry nakaliang menteri rangba Konrad Ki Sangma pat kaliang senchar ula kentait ban a ya no jingkular namar ula dep ban penchai lut ya baro kimat pat ki jingkeno belawanra da kaliang Pyrshah haba penchai halo ke jingkeno jong kaliang Pyrshah Menteri rangba ke jylla Konrad Ki Sangma ulah talain ting dagabul ong palada ka Sorkar MDA kam ler ha ke jing trekam kumno kalale ya ki kam ki ba kiwei ki Sorkar ki klamla ban le teng ha ki ni ki ars nem steng ki ba kuntup ya ke jing tei ya ke yeng dorbar thawan ke thamai ke jingla banyo ya ka mang pisa ka ba khat nyo spa klur tingka nagam ta ka PMGSY ka jingmang pisa ka ba khat lai spa klur tingka nagam ta ban kintiu ya ka puli uputhi kumno kalala ban pinbait ya ka songsuk ka songsngan kumno kalala ban telakam ya ka klam covid kat khandai pat plongi ka Meghalaya kum ka wei ne ka jylla pudunatam ka shakta na ka ni ka klam.
I'm here just to give a broad idea of how we are doing as a state and how we're taking forward. And it's very surprising, sir, that to see that the opposition has mentioned a lot of points about the state government right now, not looking back at how things have been during their time and how things have improved during our time. And today, sir, in fact, the Honorable LO has been mentioning that we should all realize that what is happening and we should go for this motion. So on the contrary, I will say that you should realize now that how much this government is doing, and all of you from there also should support this government for the work that we're doing. They have said that we have failed. They said we had failed. If we have failed, sir, then how come there is no abduction of civilians from 210 during that time to 0 today? 0. How come, sir, if we have failed, how did we manage to lift the ban on coal, which they could not do for the past 4 years during that time? If we have failed, then how come the COVID numbers are the lowest in the country today in our state? If we have failed, then how come we have started the assembly project, which they could not do for the past 20 years? If we have failed, how come we are investing 1,300 crores in education? If we have failed, how did we get to 1,700 crores for PMGSY? Sir, if we have failed, how are these 40 MLAs supporting this government today, sir, I ask? If we have failed, they have supporting us today, sir. And if we have failed, sir, why did the Public Affairs Index of 2020 rank us as the second best governed state in the country today, sir? So therefore, using big words and connecting dots that could be from this angle to that angle and creating your own story for it doesn't make any sense, sir. Let us look at the facts. Let us see what is there on the ground. Let us see and accept. Let us accept it, sir. So the members from the opposition should have a big heart. They should accept that yes, there is development taking place. Yes, there is work happening. There's nothing wrong. You don't have to be shy for it. But we are here open to listen to your suggestions and take your suggestions and make sure that we move forward in that. So therefore, sir, with these few words, I once again would like to urge the honorable members from the opposition to withdraw this motion, and I would urge them, in fact, to support this government and be part of this great story of Meghalaya, of this transformation that is taking place, and be a part of the productive way in which we can make a difference in the lives of our people and our citizens and our state as a whole. With these few words, sir, I would like to resume my seat. Thank you, sir.
Now the leader of the opposition or the mover, do you need some clarification?
ครับ Mr. Speaker, sir, I must appreciate the patience of each one of us in this August House from the morning, 11 a.m. onwards till now. And in addition to that, to also listen to various initiatives of the government, which was obviously expected. Now, when NC is stable, it is expected that there will be allegation. Now, allegations which are based on fact has to be scrutinized by the government and take cognizance of. Otherwise, the purpose gets defeated. And another part is that the government of the day will naturally be expected to defend itself. And the Honorable CM has tried his best to defend. Now, there are 2-3 things which he got wrong. When I talk about price determination, he has to understand what do I mean by price determination. It's a standard nomenclature used while selecting a bidder through a bidding process in a transparent manner. Now, he got the figure of 248,1119 crore, two different figures, 119 and 248 crore. 116 and 248. He must be aware of the story of Ganol project. It was tendered 2017, foundation stone laid in 2017. 2007. What happened subsequently was known by everybody. The work tendering process, since we were not in a hurry to allot prior to the election 2008, it passed on. We were never in a hurry. Subsequently, what happened was that the whole process was kept in cold storage. But we needed this Ganol hydroelectricity project, the first of its kind in Garo Hills, 22.5 megawatt. So we revived after 2009, after we had the privilege to come back to the government with all of you. Mr. Speaker, sir, you are part of the government. Then we revived it. There is a time when the whole DPR has to be worked out. There is the difference. Suddenly you see 116 crore, which was supposed to be completed in 36 months. That was the target given. Ultimately, today, we are seeing the fate of the project. So the price determination is when we try to get the best offer from the contractors through an open, transparent bidding process. That is what price determination is. Not the difference between the original tender value, which was prepared few years before the subsequent tendering process, which was required because the earlier tendering process, ultimately, there is a validity period by all the bidders when they offer their bid. So it has to be revised. And the result was, there was revised estimate, there was increase, but no scope, no separate, that so-called geological surprises or anything was come across during that process of time. And the work went on. In fact, I personally was appreciating the endeavor of the generation company. Some of the officers have put their hard work in following up this program. We wanted to give a dedicated fund, and from RIDF, dedicated fund was actually tied to this program so that it can be completed on time. So this is where the difference between the price determination exercise and the reference to this Ganol project. The Honorable CM may please refer to this and find out the chronology and history of this project. So what price determination I was referring to was the glaring manipulation. That chart sheet I have submitted before this August House was pertaining to the recent tender under ADB, including the metering project that is already submitted before this August House during my process of submission. So there is need for the government to come clean on these allegations. That is one part. Then another part is on the coal. I'm aware of those audits. It's a natural process. It's a legal constitutional requirement. So that auditing is done and the departments respond and corrective measures are taken and required to be taken. Who is denying it? We don't deny. Whenever there is a discrepancy brought before the government is duty bound to process further to ensure that it is correct. These are the process. That's why we have a provision of having a CAZ in the constitution, so that there is an independent process of auditing. Now, here in my submission, what I have said was a case which gives a prima facie evidence of disappearance of coal in respect of the one which I have personally visited, accompanied by other distinguished honorable members of this August House. Officially, not in a clandestine manner. 1,41,000 metric ton was the report submitted by the divisional mining officer in response to the inquiry ordered by the Honorable Deputy Commissioner, ordered by the Deputy Commissioner of West Jaintia Hills in response to a complaint lodged by one resident. Where is that reply for that? What has happened? If in the month of June this year, there were 1,41,000 metric ton, where have they gone? Who have taken it? Who have transported it? We don't know. Because the whole machinery is under the command of the government. So it is only the government who will find out. That's why the government has to find out. Now there is a complete refusal to even find out. And I have also referred to one of the representations submitted by the Association of Coal Miners from Jaintia Hills, where the allegation is very clear. 80,000 plus they have to spend for transportation of coal, for buying of chalan. What does it signify? Therefore, these allegations are not coming from me. These allegations are important for us, because if this is the case, then something serious is happening which is against the interest of the state. Then another one, coal and lignite is concerned, conveys its consent, making MMDR Act 1957 as well as the Coal Mines Nationalization Act 1973 non-applicable in the state of Meghalaya. Ministry of Home Affairs may take appropriate decision with regard to making MMDR Act non-applicable in respect of other minerals in consultation with the Ministry of Mines. This is for other minerals. For coal and lignite, not only MMDR Act 1957, only to the extent of coal and lignite would have to be made non-applicable to Meghalaya, but the Coal Mines Nationalization Act 1973 would also be required to be made non-applicable. Ministry of Coal conveys its consent for both these acts. Signed by R.P. Gupta. These are culmination of this law and order exercise which was with the involvement of all concerned in this August House, both ruling and opposition, including the people. Now, based on this, we were supposed to be even exempted from MMDR Act 1957. What has happened? Is it exempted? So what type of hard work the government has done is exposed from here. And also lots of other correspondence which is available in the file of the Chief Minister as well as the Department of Mining and Geology, including the PM office. So these are available. Now let me finish.
We're not having another debate here, sir. It's
no, you have to come clarify.
Spoken.
You have to clarify on
I
this.
think we should put the thing to vote, sir.
Yeah, you have to clarify on this. So today I am saying that this part I have not referred to, but he is alleging my government because we had the privilege of being in the government earlier. But that decision was taken collectively in this August House. And the culmination of that has paid price. Today, unfortunately, the government failed to get that MMDR Act 1957 exempted. That's why today, though there has been huge applause.
2015, and you had 4 years, 3 years to do it. Why didn't you do it that time? This letter was in 2015. What did you do in 16? What did you do in 17?
All the records
what did you do in 18? You did nothing
file.
about it. That's the reason why we had to go to court. Because once the letter came, why didn't you do it then? What took you so long to do it? You had 3 years to do it, but you didn't do it.
May I request, Mr. President? Please.
Mr. Speaker,
please
sir.
Take a seat. Let the dialogue.
Mr. Speaker, sir, in course of the reply, the points that I have raised in respect of whatever is happening against the interests of the state was not replied to. Now, whatever irregularity has been detected in the regular process of auditing will continue to happen, but there was a process put. There was a process put. Now,
Please, Honorable
now,
Minister.
where is the stand of the government in respect of those few glaring things that I have brought to the notice of the government, including to really come clear on the allegation that 32 lakh metric ton of coal, which was submitted in the inventory, does not exist in those coal-bearing districts anymore. So, these are the allegations that has been placed before the August House in the interest of the state, to protect the interests of the state. And about the law and order, we definitely have gone through this turmoil of lawlessness and problem of militancy and terrorism. Yes, everybody paid a price. But the culmination of the collective effort involving people, the civil society organization and the religious organizations paved the way for this peace that we restored. We need to sustain it. And I'm amazed to see the government of the day taking credit on this. Taking credit on this. Not giving credit to anybody else but then to the government. It's a culmination of collective effort of all those friends. How many hundreds of youth came overground, joined the national mainstream because of that endeavor? And did we leave any insurgent for this government after our tenure? Is there any militant outfit now? Is there? Did we leave any militant outfit? How many militant outfits were mushrooming then when we took charge? We have forgotten this. And so shamelessly taking credit for this. Take credit if you can sustain it. Sustain it. We will all give credit. But I'm afraid it is going to be really a challenging task for all of us if we cannot sustain it. Sustain it. So these are few important things which I want the CM to come clear on this before we further proceed. And on the allegations of those amazing way of scripting, the kind of modus operandi to cause huge loss to the government exchequer by the power department.
Speaker, sir, a small clarity on the...
Very short, please.
Just very short, sir, very short.
Very short, yes.
Sir, very short.
Yeah.
Sir, this is relating to that agriculture money that has been surrendered. Honorable Chief Minister said that I have not done my homework. Again, this homework word is being repeated. But, sir, I will not go on the homework thing.
Yeah,
what I want
specific.
to tell you, sir,
Yeah.
that all these documents is from the Public Accounts Committee, sir. We had summoned the Agriculture Department. Agriculture Department officials have come and they have given all the details. And therefore, sir, this is my homework. And I want to tell the House that this 9 crore 2 lakhs 934 was actually a report given by the Agriculture Department themselves to us in the PAC, sir. Plus number two, sir, I take strong exception of the sweeping remarks made by the Honorable Chief Minister at my cause, sir. Sir, please, let me.
I didn't take anything.
Please, let me finish, sir. Sir, I was a government officer prior to joining politics. I had served the NHM from 2016 November to the time that I took a voluntary retirement, and that was just for 10 months. So the IMR and MMR has been there prior to my joining, and during my course of my short stint in the health department, I did my best, sir. I contributed a lot for the MHIS as well, sir.
Okay.
So therefore, sir, I request the Honorable Chief Minister to kindly take back those words, which was not really, acceptable to me, sir. That's all, sir.
Chief Minister, please. Just be brief, please.
Sir, we have
already,
enough.
Mr.
I
Speaker,
think
sir,
I have already replied.
One more point I would like
Sir,
the CM to respond is about the frequent transfer of very important officers who are linked with administration of justice. I have referred to this particular case. I know it may be little inconvenient personally for the CM to respond to this. It is specific to Laimukra PS case 132-2017, and when the SP concerned has indicated that this IO is crucial to proceed with a high-profile case, the SP also was transferred. When is the government going to invite our next State Security Commission meeting? These are glaring examples of predetermined intent to keep on transferring officers who do not or who are going to actually fulfill their responsibility in sync with the law.
Yeah. Chief Minister, just be brief, please.
Sir,
I would like to close this
yes, sir.
motion.
Sir, we, the officers, are always transferred in the best interest of the state, and we always follow that principle. So, apart from that, sir, I think there's so many issues. If I have to reply to all, it will be a long drawn affair, sir. Yeah. So I think from my side, sir, I have given all the replies as far as possible. And if there are any individual things that were mentioned, sir, we have taken note of that, and I can personally discuss with all the members that are there. So, sir, I would request the opposition to withdraw, sir, or you could put it to vote, sir.
So now let me know the mind of the mover. Whether you would...
Mr. Speaker, sir, thank you. Thank you for the time. But only on this relevant case of Laimukra, because this is linked with the transferring of SP. I want an assurance from the government that meeting of the State Security Commission will be convened on time, on a regular basis, as per the requirement of the law, and administration of justice, whatever is required, will not be tempered upon, because this is linked with a very serious case. Okay. There were people who were trained to be criminal, and this pertains to this. So it is dangerous when we are talking about skill training program, whether in a similar case, such trainings are being given.
Okay,
so therefore, this is needed.
Would you like to respond? Chief Minister, please. Would you like to respond to that? No.
Sir, we'll call the State Security Commission. Because of COVID and all these reasons, we were not able to call it, but we'll make sure we call it on time, sir.
Okay, fine. So since the Chief Minister has already replied, may I now know the mind of the mover, whether he will withdraw this motion or not?
The assurance from the government to protect the interests of the state should come forward to enable us to decide to withdraw. Because I have said about power, said about that 141,000 metric ton with a certified copy coming from the Deputy Commissioner. So it involves huge loss of revenue for the state. Yeah.
If the lecture is going to go on, sir, I think it's better we put it to vote, sir. Yeah.
So we would like that willingness and intent to be forthcoming from the government, from the Chief Minister.
Sir, my entire reply has been directed towards exactly what was even mentioned. In fact, I have replied more with all the intentions that we have and how we plan to take the state forward, sir. So I think it's very clear. Yeah. My reply was very clear, sir.
I think the Chief Minister has already replied, so it all depends on the mover, whether he is satisfied with the reply or not. We cannot continue with the discussion. I would request the mover to make up his mind whether he would withdraw this motion or not, so that we can move forward with the...
I think there's no clear intention coming from the CM to find out about that 141,000 metric ton. It's a prima facie case. Prima facie case of disappearance such a huge quantity of coal brought with an evidence. Even one. Let us go together and verify. Yes. Yes.
Okay,
Let
so may I know the mind? Yeah, may I know the mind?
Interest of the state.
Please, I think I've given enough time today. I think I've been very, very fair to all of you. Very fair. I think you should not take advantage of this fairness that I've been playing. From both sides of the House. I've been giving a very fair to everybody to speak, to address the concerns and everything. I would like now to take a call on this. May I know the mind of the mover? That's the last request from my side, please.
We will withdraw with a commitment coming from the government. We will happily withdraw when the commitment comes from the government, and I hope he will be happily also committing. I think you have given us enough time. I think you have given enough time for the government also to reply. He has spoken about different developmental programs. This is natural. Every government has a developmental program. Education, we know. We started with ADB. How many buildings have been constructed? We know it's a continuation.
Right.
But then,
So
yes,
I think
we have heard.
Sir, I have already given my reply, sir, and it's in line with what all the members have mentioned and what opposition is saying. We are all together to take the state forward. I think it's very clear. So I think my reply has been very, very clear, sir.
Now
It's
final.
an assurance.
Now final.
It's an assurance. Yes.
I have given my reply.
With that assurance,
I have
yes,
not- I have not said assurance.
It's already said. Huh?
I said
Isn't
I-
an assurance? That's why I want clarity from.
Because I want to intervene a little bit. See, this is no confidence motion. In the no confidence motion, since you already made up your mind, with due respect, sir, I understand that if we continue for another 2-3 hours, it will not end.
I will not allow
Because
so.
the intention of the opposition is not to withdraw. So why not they come out very clearly, say yes or no. That's it. And
That's
if
what I'm asking now.
not, also, sir, you have the authority to just go for voting.
So may I know now, final please. Let me not repeat the same thing again and again. What is the mind of the mover? Whether he will withdraw this motion or not.
The opposition is collective in its decision not to withdraw because government seems to be not willing to come up clean. Thank you, sir.
Since the mover has not withdrawn his motion, now I will put the motion to the board of the House. The question is that the no confidence be passed. Those who are in favor of the motion, say aye. Those who are against, say no. I think the noes have it, and the no confidence motion is lost. Before we conclude the sitting of the House, I would like to make a statement. After I have examined the proceedings of the minutes of the House, that the Minister in charge power has expressed regret and did not mean to disrespect the other honourable member from Umroi. And though the word homework is not unparliamentary in nature, I would rather give my ruling in the advisory in nature. As reputed and honourable members of this House, I would sincerely request all of you to please maintain and ensure that respect to each other is being maintained at all times. Second one on the Rule 305. Some strong unparliamentary words used by the member of this House, Sri Saleng A. Sangma, will be expunged from the proceeding of the House, as suggested by the Deputy Chief Minister in charge Parliamentary Affairs. Therefore, my appeal to all the members to maintain the decorum of this House.